Hey, it is Friday, July 22nd. Man, where's the summer going? It's like halfway over, I guess, at least in here, the Northern Hemisphere, part of where we are. So, but it's been a pretty fun week here at Totally Guitars. Some really cool things going on the forum. I'll get to those a little bit later, but I want to tell you a little bit about some of the stuff that was happening, of course, with the Target program. Had a lot of fun working on a little bit more little Willie Nelson. So we started off the week with Crazy, of course, big hit for Patsy Cline back in the early 60s, shortly before her death, unfortunately. And anyway, she just didn't make it too long. I think it was in her early 30s that we lost Patsy, but she, of course, kind of helped put Willie on the map with his tune Crazy. And then, how'd this go? David Gates' strumming tunes. We take a look at Guitar Man, and yes, I left out the fancy electric guitar parts and all that other stuff with the wahs and the fade and the swells. Pretty cool tune. They're a little different sound for David Gates and Bread. And then what else? We had another big tune. Oh yeah, I just played it there. American Pie. Now it's pretty much a simple strumming song on most respects, or at least from most angles, but. Interesting chord progression, fairly complicated, always just using chords in the key of G, and no bar chords. Makes it kind of fun to play and sing. You probably need like the word sheet there though to get through it and follow all the words. So anyway, that was the big stuff in the Target world. We had another addition from my friend Hal with the ukulele tune Pua Mana, which we're starting to get into some of the more complicated ones. So we're starting to get into the advanced lessons. So hopefully you guys are following the path there, where if you've gone through the easy songs, the beginning lessons, and some of the intermediate, the beginning program, and then the intermediate lessons that we had, we've got a stash of advanced lessons that we're working on and piecing together and bringing them to you as quickly as we can. And I do want to thank one of our Target members, Matt, who made a trip out here a little while ago, and we are sharing his lesson in the Fly on the Wall series. This, it's broken up into a few parts to kind of make it manageable, and at the beginning of his lesson we started talking about this. Of course, going into Leo Kottke, the Fisherman. We talk anyhow. As the lesson progresses, we go through lots of different subjects and things. But so keep an eye out for that, as we'll be bringing those out over the next couple of weeks. And what else? We resurrected. Oh, this was fun. I was really glad to finally get a little bit of time to get back to some student reviews. And we had Tom Varga had put up a complete version of Quicksand. And he's doing a phenomenal job of it, and I had a few little suggestions for him in there. So the student reviews are back, and we hope to get to a couple a week nowadays. We'll see how it goes. At least one, I hope. And then there was another one. Our Target member Jeff put up a phenomenal version. If you haven't seen it, you got to check it out. I don't have my key. Oh yes, I do. It is handy. Phenomenal version of. Skating Away. So great job singing it and everything. Had a few little suggestions in there too. So hope your Target members are enjoying the rebirth of student reviews. They're back on the agenda. So, and anyway, that's most of the cool things that we had. Well, we had a lot of other cool things, but there were a couple things on the forum that were really neat. I want to thank some people for. One of them was kind of goofy. I think Matt started this whole thing. If you haven't seen the Google Maps directions of how to get from China to Taiwan, including getting to the ocean and swimming, you got to check that out. So it's a post on the forum. But I've had a lot of fun on the forum checking out the busking channels, because people are putting up great songs by bands that I'm familiar with most of them to a certain extent, but not always the particular tunes. And so this week saw some stuff by the Violent Femmes, Aerosmith. There's Paul McCartney stuff. I was a little more familiar with that, of course. And Tracy Chapman. Those are just some things that people have put up recently. And it really is a great way to introduce people to new music. And that was something, the thread that we had, that I do want to thank everybody for logging in on that, because Matt and I, again, were just kind of talking last week about, how often people have followed up other artists that they've just been exposed to from the site. And it was really neat to hear some of the people, the confessions of liking Camel all of a sudden, and some things like that were very cool. So appreciate everybody's comments on that. So that was a thread. I think it was called something like Artists New to You. So if you haven't seen that, that's still, it's probably slipping its way down the forum a little bit now. But I do want to thank everybody who weighed in on that. So I think that's it for this week. I'm kind of going into practice mode. I've got a little performance coming up here in a few weeks in September, I think, Labor Day weekend, in my little home. It's kind of a little hometown gig, playing at a town barbecue or something like that. That's the beginning and the ending of a little bossa nova thing I wrote a few years ago called, I should learn the names of my songs, Along the Way, I think. Anyway, so yeah, been playing guitar. Hope everybody else finds a little bit of time this weekend and next week to practice. Don't get too distracted by nice weather or the beach, wherever you happen to be, which is not really happening around here. But anyway, I'm going back to practicing and working on some interesting lessons. See you next week.